Listen, I've been hurt before. I had an open door, and so I told myself I never let that happen again.
Hello, Facebook family and internet world. My name is Raquel, and this is Pages of Life. Before we get started into our topic, I just want to share some exciting news with you today. Pages of Life, we're going to be expanding, and we're going to be taking on live guests. I'm going to be doing live interviews talking about a variety of different issues. Now, if you are interested in being a guest on Pages of Life, please hit me up. If you have an interesting story that you would like to share with the world and with the Facebook family and the internet world, definitely hit me up. I also want to let you all know that I appreciate you continuing to comment on my video blogs and the different issues that we're talking about, and I just want to encourage you to continue to do so. Today we're going to be talking about an issue that seems to continue to be a topic of discussion in many homes, and that is to beat or not to beat, to spank or not to spank. Now, we know that corporal punishment seems to be one of the number one tools and techniques that parents use to punish their children. And so today I want to talk about corporal punishment, and I want to get your feedback. So definitely please watch the blog and make a comment. You know, let's get some dialogue going about this topic. Now, according to the American Psychological Association, they are kind of split on this particular topic. Some psychologists and some doctors say that spanking basically aids in having the children become violent. If they are hit as children, then they will hit as adults. Some say that it bruises their self-esteem. It causes a lot of issues in school. They will fight more. But then you have those who say that they are, you know, a lot of us have our strong Christian beliefs and values that, you know, you spare the rod, spoil the child, you know. So there is a fine line between spanking and abuse. So what is acceptable spanking and what is not? I know at one point they were saying that if you hit the child with an open hand on the bottom, on the butt, then that was an acceptable form of spanking. But now they're even saying that that is somewhat of an issue. There's a website that I went to when I was basically researching this, and this is from Dr. Sears' website, and she talks about the 10 reasons why you should not hit your child. Number 1, hitting is modeling hitting. So if you hit, then that child is going to hit. And one of the things that she says is one of her parents that she was counseling basically had a situation where she had spanked her 4-year-old daughter. And like a week or so later, she noticed that her 4-year-old daughter was hitting her 1-year-old brother. And so when she asked the little girl about it, she said, "Well, Mommy, I'm just playing." And so she was playing being the mommy. And that's what mommies do. They spank. So this was an issue for that mother, and so she vowed and swore never to hit her child again. Okay, so that was number 1. Let's see. Number 2. Where is it? Number 2 was hitting devalues the child. Now, when we are trying to raise up children and let them know how beautiful they are and how talented and smart they are and to be productive members of society, hitting or spanking, they say, cause children to have self-esteem issues. And they feel that they grow up to believe that that's the way for them to feel value, is that if you hit me. And so I don't know love unless you spank me or unless you hit me. That's one of the things that the psychologists are saying. Number 3, let's see. Hitting devalues the parent. Okay. And a lot of times they're saying that parents don't want to spank their children. They don't want to hit them. But when they do, then they in turn have internal issues with that. There's an internal conflict going on. Well, should I hit my child or should I not hit my child? And a lot of times parents feel bad after spanking their children. So that makes an internal issue with them. So that's number 3. Number 4 Hitting may lead to abuse. And this is the fine line, because when you spank or when you hit, how are you? How much pressure or force are you using when you're spanking your children? Are you hitting enough to break something? And what kind of spanking are you doing? What kind of hitting are you doing? Are you slapping across the face? Are you using a belt? Are you using your hand? Are you using a fist? I know back in the day when they talked about spanking, I mean, kids was getting spanked with all kind of stuff. Remember the little racetrack, the yellow racetrack things where the cards go on, the little plastic racetracks? I've known folks to get spanked with that. Extension cords, folks would get spanked with. So where's the line of abuse between spanking, disciplining, and then abusing? So that's something that you have to be careful with as well. Number 5, hitting does not improve behavior. So why do it? Hitting is a form of control. We want to control the behavior of the child. So therefore, if they don't do what we want them to do or act the way we want them to act, then we do this corporate punishment. We spank them. So now that may get them to do what we want in that moment, or it may be that day. But the next day or the days after, have we really changed their behavior? Have we really controlled them? Have we really got them to act the way we want them to act? So that's something else to take into consideration. Number 6, hitting is actually not biblical, is what they say, this particular website. Now they list a number of scriptures in the Bible that talks about sparing the rod, spare the child. There's one that says, folly is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline will drive it far from them. Now, this psychologist is saying that the rod that they're really referring to is really not so much the physical rod of hitting, but the rod of disciplining and correcting and punishing, maybe taking away something or putting them in timeout, but not physically hitting. This is what this particular psychologist is saying. But as Christians, we have been raised and we believe that the rod is actually the rod of chastisement, meaning actual physical hitting. So that's another form there. That's number 6. Let's see. Number 7, hitting promotes anger in children and in parents. And this is something that you want to think about as well, because the child does not want to get hit. Nobody wants to get hit. Nobody wants to feel pain. So when you're chastising your child, are you really sending the right message? And then is that child really understanding the right message? Is that child really understanding what they're supposed to take away from this besides the pain? And so now they're angry with that. Okay? That's number 7. Also, number 8 brings back bad memories. So, I think we all have some memories in our childhood that we want to forget. And I've got a few spankings that I would like to forget myself. So number 8 is hitting brings back bad memories and may cause the child to, or as an adult, cause you to react a certain way. Okay? Number 9. And there's a lot of information here, so I'm scrolling down to get to my number 9. Where's my number 9? Okay, abusive hitting has bad long-term effects. Okay, now now this one says abusive hitting. It does not say corporal punishment. So that's also that fine line. What is spanking, what is appropriate spanking, and what is not, and what is abuse. So you have to, as parents, we have to be careful when we're spanking our children. So that's something to consider, to take into consideration as well. Okay, and then number 10, spanking doesn't work. It just simply doesn't work, they say. I'm going to read this, what it says, spanking doesn't work. Many studies show that spanking as a disciplinary technique does not work. its usefulness does not work. In the past 30 years in pediatric practice, we have observed thousands of families who have tried spanking and found it doesn't work because it doesn't change the long-term behavior. So I want to say this. As a parent myself, I do spank my children. I have spanked my children, and I have tried to get away from that. Now, people have said to me, well, you don't spank your children enough, you know. I am a communicator, so I like to talk. I talk a lot with my children, and I've even found that that doesn't even work sometimes with the talking. You can train up a child in the way that they should go. You could instill values. You could try to teach your child right from wrong. But at the end of the day, a child is a person. They have their own mind. They have their own brain. And so they're going to do what it is that they feel that they want to do. Now, do we control them by administering corporal punishment and spanking? Does that work? Does it really work, though, is my question to you. And so I want to hear your thoughts and your feedback on corporal punishment, to beat or not to beat, to spank or not to spank. What is your stance? And this has been Pages of Life. My name is Raquel, and I leave with you. What are you writing on the pages of other people's lives, and what are you allowing other people to write on your pages? Be blessed.
Yeah, now I seek your face. Don't you turn me away. Need to feel the safety.